I, a corporate slave, live a life of working to jobs. By day, I am a marketing elite, expanding the company's territory. By night, I am a professional lover who caters attentively and is always on call for the boss. Don't worry, I'm not doing anything morally bankrupt. It all started because, in a crowd, I took one extra look at him. That day, I was discussing with HR Zhao Lin whether the boss was planning layoffs due to the recent poor economic climate. Zhao Lin widened her eyes in surprise and said, "How come I don't know?" "How do you know? Have you noticed how often Mr. Gong has been hanging around our section of the office lately?" "Not really." "Today, he passed by here 3 times, pretending to be casual while secretly observing every employee. I still don't get it. Why do you keep an eye on the boss every day?" Zhao Lin shook her head. "Are you stupid? Our entire section consists of departments that spend money but don't generate profit. When times are tough, we're the first to go." I sounded the alarm, and Zhao Lin hugged her hot water bottle tightly in fear. Him coming over so often means he's observing everyone's work ethic, figuring out who the unlucky one will be. Just as I was getting into it, I looked up and met the boss's sharp, eagle-like eyes. My internal alarm bells went off. Of all times, my screen was playing a live stream on Dai. Terrified, I immediately pretended to bury myself in work. Once I confirmed the boss had left, I sent a string of crying emojis to Zhao Lin. "It's over. It's over." The boss just saw me slacking off and watching a live stream. Zhao Lin was puzzled. "But your job is marketing, that's literally part of your work. What are you afraid of?" I still felt uneasy. After all, bosses are always worried employees aren't working hard enough. Even though the work here is tough and the boss is cold and ruthless, the salary and benefits are good. Plus, I'm almost 30. If I get laid off now, as an unmarried, childless older woman, I'll have a hard time finding another job. The sword of Damocles for layoffs seemed to be hanging right over my head. The prospect of middle-aged unemployment and a bleak old age felt all too real. No, I need to pull myself together. I need to get on the boss's good side. I need to become his indispensable right-hand woman. So, I started working late into the night every day. If the boss didn't leave, I wouldn't leave either, hoping to leave him with the impression of a hardworking employee. But it seemed heaven misunderstood my wish. I wanted to get on the boss's good side, not have the boss get on my good side. One night, the huge office was empty except for the boss and me. It felt like a battle of entrance. Neither of us showed any intention of leaving first. When the clock struck 10, I tragically lost a battle of will and stamina. I simply couldn't hold out any longer. Just as I shut down my computer and packed my things, the boss suddenly appeared. He walked into the open office area, bathed in light, scanned the room, and noticed I was the only one left. "Shinyi, how long have you been with the company? Are you satisfied here?" 3 years. Extremely satisfied. Couldn't be more satisfied. I'm willing to give my all for the company, even if it means burning out. Oh no. Is this an exit interview? Good. Would you like some extra income? What does he mean by that? Extra income, isn't that just severance pay? My throat tightened, and I suddenly couldn't speak. I shook my head like a rattled drum. He raised an eyebrow, looking puzzled. His expression seemed to say, "Are you a fool for turning down money?" I immediately switched to nodding like a chicken pecking at rice. "Good. I have a task for you." I held my breath, waiting. Could it be some urgent, difficult, or high-stakes project? "This Saturday, accompany me to an investor cocktail party. Play the role of my wife and help the company secure this round of funding." The task hit me like a tornado. After it passed, my brain turned to mush. This time, it was my turn to wear an expression that said, "Are you kidding me? Isn't he married? Isn't his wife abroad? Why would he need a fake wife? What if we get caught?" Don't ask questions you shouldn't. If this succeeds, you'll get a promotion and raise, or 100,000 yuans, or stock options. The boss's expression was like that of a sly river god emerging from the water with an axe. "Do you want this golden axe, this silver axe, or this iron axe?" Years of quality education taught me that choosing the golden or silver axe never ends well. "I want stock options." My brain short-circuited, and I blurted out, "Choosing the iron axe." The next day, it finally dawned on me: stock options in a startup are worthless until they vest. If my acting is terrible and I ruin the boss's funding chances, the company will eventually fail, and my options will be worthless. I hurriedly flipped through the comprehensive personal data Mr. Gong gave me and started cramming. I have to say, Mr. Gong's execution is top-notch. That very night, he handed me 3 pages of personal information, double-sided of for printouts. He gave me 2 days to memorize everything and said he'd quiz me at random. During lunch break, Mr. Gong called me into his office. Honestly, since graduating high school, I hadn't felt the pressure of memorize everything like this. In front of the cold, stern Mr. Gong, I stumbled through the material. Unsurprisingly, he scolded me. Your brain isn't very sharp, is it? How did the company even hire you in the first place? I pouted. Even a workhorse on a production team isn't as efficient as me. Mr. Gong, if you think so little of me, why ask me to play this role? Any one of the others out there would do. Mr. Gong cleared his throat. First, you're the only one here who's almost 30. Second, you work overtime often, so you probably don't have a boyfriend or much of a nightlife. My lips twitched. He wasn't wrong. You're absolutely right. When I left Mr. Gong's office, I was so angry I stormed around the break room. Jialin curiously came over and snatched the materials from my hands. Xinyi, what's this? Height? Weight? Preferences? I panicked, immediately grabbing the materials back and clutching it to my chest. It's nothing. Jialin didn't believe me and kept pressing for answers. I had no choice but to make up a lie. Well, it's information about a guy my family set me up with. My mom wants me to memorize it. Jialin suddenly understood. Oh, I see. What's he like? Tell me. Him? He's arrogant, shrewd, materialistic, sharp-tongued, and cunning. The only redeeming qualities are his chest, his legs, and that handsome face. Jialin clicked her tongue, her shock written all over her face. I thought, is she really that surprised? Following her darting eyes, I turned around and saw Mr. Gong standing right behind me. My mind suddenly went blank. How long had he been standing there? How much had he heard? He doesn't know I was talking about him, right? Without thinking, I stiffened my neck and blurted out, "Good afternoon, Mr. Gong. Here to get water yourself?" Gong Teng suppressed his anger. "Yang Xinyi, if you mess up this project, pack your things and go." "Ah, I understand. Take care, sir." I put on an overly flattering, boot-licking smile. That jerk definitely heard everything just now. After he left, I shook my head and scoffed. What's with Gong lately? Is he on his period or something? So much temper sounds like someone's not getting any. Jialin nearly had a heart attack and shoved me. "Xinyi, you've got some nerve. Spreading rumors about the boss's private life, cutting him off when he's drinking, spinning the table when he's picking food, winning a hand when he's about to go out. Tell me, how many workplace taboos have you broken already? Have I?" I pouted. Spinning the table or winning a hand, none of that mattered. What really mattered was playing the role of his professional wife at Saturday's cocktail party, a matter of life and death. Finally, Saturday arrived. I dressed up as instructed by Mr. Gong and accompanied him to the investor industry cocktail party. The target investor, Madame Xia, was a female entrepreneur who placed great importance on family. Gong Teng had just finalized a divorce agreement with his wife, which was why he had resorted to this plan, bringing me along as a stand-in. "Xinyi, are you nervous?" Mr. Gong's tone was gentle, yet authoritative. "Not at all. I'm fine." Though I appeared calm on the surface, inside I was a complete mess. In such a setting, with such a role to play, who would save me if I messed up? "If you're not nervous, then let go of my arm. You're squeezing too tight." Gong Teng shook off my hand and whispered, "Madame Xia is coming over. Be careful." "Ah, Mr. Gong." Realizing my slip-up, I quickly corrected myself. No. Gong Teng, darling. I had planned for everything except this. Failing to agree on a name in advance was a major oversight. As Madame Xia approached step by step, I had a sudden inspiration and sweetly called out, "Log-ang," drawing out the last syllable. Gong Teng was utterly startled. Fortunately, Madame Xia didn't seem to mind and said with a smile, "Mr. Gong, I didn't expect you and your wife to be so close." "Heh, yes, she's quite playful." Gong Teng smoothly continued the conversation with Madame Xia. They chatted about everything from the national three-child policy to the sustainability of business models, from the prospects of the domestic maternity and baby products market to the cost of raising children in big cities, nearly putting the other party to sleep. The arrogant man thought he knew everything, always acting like the king of the world. His know-it-all attitude was really annoying. Seeing the situation turning sour, I stepped in and interrupted Gong Teng's endless monologue. Modern women approach parenting more scientifically and rationally. Our products aim to free them from the heavy and tedious burdens of childcare, allowing them to enjoy the pure joy of motherhood. Don't you agree, Madame Xia? Yes. You've spoken my mind. Women truly understand women better. I continued discussing the parenting philosophies of the urban new middle class with her, a topic that was part of my job anyway. So easy. As we wrapped up, Madame Xia seemed reluctant to end the conversation. Talking with you has been such a pleasure. The honor is mine. By the way, Mr. Gong, do you enjoy red wine? Yes. We have a whole collection of red wine at home. I instinctively chimed in. Would it be possible to have the honor of admiring your collection sometime? No problem. You're welcome anytime. OMG. I must have gotten too into my role to say something so reckless. The car ride back felt dark and gloomy, as if a storm was brewing. Gong Teng was probably fuming too. It was supposed to be the final push, but I ended up kicking the door down entirely. Now the company's financing was up in the air again. Are you out of your mind? Can't you think before you speak? Gong Teng's sharp tongue struck right at the heart. Though I knew my habit of letting my mouth run ahead of my brain wasn't great, who was Gong Teng to criticize? If it weren't for his lousy idea, I wouldn't have slipped up like this. Mr. Gong, it's after work hours now. I'm just your wife. Well, fake wife. Not your employee. Please don't talk to me in that tone. How was I supposed to know she'd be so forward? My voice grew softer and softer, as if neither of my roles, wife or employee, gave me the right to speak confidently. Next time, remember to keep your mouth shut. Gong Teng's words were as poisonous as arsenic. I don't know what you're even good for. The man just wouldn't stop. There won't be a next time. I quit. Find someone else. If you can do it, do it. If not, get lost. Gladly. I slammed on the brakes, causing Gong Teng, who was drinking water, to sober up in the passenger seat, to choke and cough violently. Workplace taboo, cutting off the boss when he's drinking. I really had broken it. Well, I could always resign. The next day, I went to the nursing home to volunteer as usual. Spending time with these elderly kids was much more enjoyable. They asked for little, gave a lot, and never held grudges, unlike a certain exploitative boss. Xin Yi, what are you thinking about? You look like you're grinding your teeth. It's kinda scary. The nursing home director brought me some fruit to quench my thirst. A young nurse suddenly ran over to report that Granny Lan in the VIP room was acting up again. She doesn't recognize her grandson, and she's crying and throwing a fit. Seeing everyone at a loss, I confidently volunteered. Don't worry. Leave it to me. Inside the VIP room, Granny Lan was terrified of the tall man standing before her, shrinking into her chair. I rushed in to comfort her. Sister Lan, don't be afraid. This is your grandson. When I looked up, my tongue tied. Gong, Mr. Gong. In that moment, I realized I was the real fool here. So you're Granny Lan's grandson. Gong Teng had no time to deal with me. Granny Lan was still crying and fussing. This isn't Deoxiankin's juju paste pastry. Don't try to fool me with knockoffs. You're not my grandson. You're a liar. He clearly had no experience dealing with elderly people and stood there helplessly, tall but lost. Grandma, why don't you recognize me? This is your favorite Deoxiankin juju paste pastry. I didn't buy the wrong one. My heart softened, and I took the pastry from his hand, pretending to examine it carefully. Sister Lan, the one in my hand is the real Deoxiankin juju paste pastry. Try it. Granny Lan hesitated but took a bite. Perhaps the familiar taste comforted her, as her eyes cleared and a smile spread across her face. Yes, this is the real one. I pointed at Gong Teng. See, isn't this your grandson? Granny Lan looked closely, slapped her thigh, and excitedly grabbed his hand. Yes, Zhao Teng, you've finally come to see me. A heartwarming reunion of grandmother and grandson. Granny Lan excitedly motioned for me to come closer. I recognize you too. You're Zhao Teng's wife. I could only force an awkward smile. Great. She's still confused. She wasn't like this before. Gong Teng looked worried as he drove me home. It's delirium. Older adults can experience varying degrees of confusion and mental fog due to organic brain changes. There's no need to worry too much. Do you volunteer often? I haven't seen you before. Oh, I usually go on Saturdays, but this week there was a fool. I caught myself before saying more. I'm sorry. I apologize for what happened earlier. I shouldn't have spoken to you that way. Could it be that I was the one with delirium? Gong Teng was sincerely apologizing to me. Flustered, I quickly waved my hands. It's fine, really. Please, just speak normally. This is scaring me. Good. The meeting with Madame Xia is set for Wednesday. Spend the next few days brushing up on your wine knowledge. I'll test you anytime. Gong Teng truly was a master at seizing opportunities. I didn't dare reply, afraid of digging myself into another hole. By the way, come with me to buy some things later. This time, we must leave no room for error. Learning from past mistakes, Gongteng took me straight to a mall and bought everything a female homeowner might need all at once. Why buy shoes? Do we need to leave a few pairs lying around the house for show? I asked, puzzled. Gongteng, sharp-eyed and meticulous, stared at my high heels and said, "Those shoes are too small for you. They're rubbing your feet." Without any fuss, he bought a pair of comfortable flats, knelt down right there in public, and helped me put them on. Much better, right? My mind began to wander. Gongteng is really smooth. No wonder a man polished by other women is different. And just like that, my entire weekend was taken over by my boss. I didn't feel rested at all. One moment I blinked, and the weekend was gone. During Monday's project meeting, I was dozing off until the team lead announced the results, and I suddenly snapped awake. My proposal had actually passed unanimously, something that had never happened before. Overwhelmed with excitement, I treated the whole team to milk tea. If there were workplace taboos, the first would definitely be, don't get too carried away with success. The second, never gossip about colleagues in the bathroom. What happened today? How did Yang Xinyi, the eternal runner-up, actually win? Who knows? She's been staying late every day lately, cozying up to the boss. I heard she's already the mistress now. No way! I could never go that far. A friend of mine saw them buying furniture together at the mall yesterday. They might have been living together for a while. Really? That's so sad for the boss's ex-wife. Hearing gossip about yourself is a truly thrilling experience. After my colleagues left, I kicked the bathroom door open in frustration. Gongteng, give me back my reputation. I immediately grabbed the 3-page document and stormed into Mr. Gong's office, demanding that he clarify internally that there was no inappropriate relationship between us and that my proposal had won on its own merits. But Gongteng didn't seem bothered. Instead, he asked, "Do you really think your proposal is better than everyone else's?" I was speechless. What I think doesn't matter, it's what you executives think that counts. You're the ones who voted and approved it. Why ask me now? Gongteng didn't want to drag it out. He waved me off. Arguing about this is pointless. A true marketing expert's real ability lies in securing projects. Once you deliver results, no one will gossip. Fine, then I'll prove it to you. There happened to be a major project I'd been working on for a long time. The client scheduled the contract signing for Wednesday afternoon. Originally, I was going to reschedule it due to the meeting with Madame Xia, but after some thought, I decided to squeeze both in, signing in the afternoon and meeting in the evening. It should be doable, but plans never survive reality. That day, a heavy rainstorm caused a citywide traffic jam, bringing transportation to a standstill. By the time I struggled awkwardly to ride a shared bike and arrived, panting and drenched, at Gongteng's villa, Madame Xia and the other guests had long since left. Gongteng mustered every ounce of self-control to keep from lashing out. "Can't you tell what's important? Didn't I tell you this was the top priority?" I knew I was in the wrong and didn't dare retort. Tears streamed down my face, mixing with the rainwater dripping from my hair. "You have the nerve to cry? I'm the one who should be crying. You're not just foolish, you're malicious. You did this on purpose, didn't you? Trying to ruin the company's funding so it goes under? You want to see me fail completely?" Terrified, I looked up. This blame was too heavy, I couldn't bear it. Crying, I shook my head. "No, that's not what I wanted. I know you're angry, but don't go too far. Do you have any idea how important this is to me and the company? You don't care at all." In the heat of the moment, I saw, for the first time, a watery gleam in his eyes. "I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to." Fear, guilt, and grievances welled up inside me. In the end, I don't even remember how I left the villa and returned to my tiny apartment. Staring at the cold instant noodles and the dripping showerhead, I sighed. Guess I'm not destined to earn or spend those stock options after all. The gifts of fate always come with a hidden price. Cinderella isn't even fit to own an iron axe. In a fit of anger, I opened a job search website and updated my resume. Gongteng, being your wife or your employee is too damn hard. Can't I just switch companies? Within days, I received an interview invitation from a new company. I fought my way through every round and made it to the final interview. Just when I thought I had it in the bag, I was unexpectedly ghosted. The promised job offer vanished into thin air. I couldn't accept it and called the company's HR to ask why. After some hesitation, she finally said they had conducted a background check and heard rumors about me at my current company. Their leadership didn't want to hire someone with questionable integrity. Enough was enough. Was I supposed to carry this black mark for the rest of my life? I went through great trouble to find out that their leader would be attending an entrepreneurs gathering that evening. So, I managed to sneak in, planning to explain the situation face to face. Even if they didn't hire me, I needed to clear my name in this industry. At the gathering, I sat alone in a corner, trying to act natural. As I scanned the room, I couldn't find the leader, but I unexpectedly ran into Madame Xia instead. The moment she saw me, she beamed and walked over. There was no avoiding her, so I braced myself and greeted her. When she learned I had come alone, afraid I might feel left out, she immediately introduced me to her friends. "Let me introduce you. This is the wife of Mr. Gong from Good Mom Company." Everyone shook my hand and exchanged pleasantries. Madame Xia continued, "She has profound insights into women's parenting. Feel free to chat with her." After her introduction, someone approached me. "Hello, I heard you're Mr. Gong's wife." Yes. Nice to meet you. I'm Yuan. I work in maternal and infant products overseas too. Hi, I'm Xinyi. Pleasure to meet you. Mr. Gong is young and accomplished. I didn't expect his wife to be such an intellectual woman too. The compliment instantly pulled me into character. Oh, not at all. Our Mr. Gong, I mean, my Log is the truly brilliant one, insightful, foresighted, handsome, gentle, considerate, kind. Yuan covered her mouth and laughed. Really? It sounds like you two are very close and well matched. I guess so. But lately, I think I've caused him some trouble. I said all this without thinking, my eyes still searching the crowd for that leader. But then, to my surprise, the leader emerged from the crowd. We locked eyes, and her face was filled with disdain, as if saying, "I've seen through you, a scheming mistress who climbed her way up." I gasped. What do I do now? The misunderstanding just keeps snowballing. She leaned in and whispered a few words to Director Xia. The room wasn't large, so everyone could hear clearly. That's not Mr. Gong's wife. She is just an employee from their company, a scheming woman who took advantage while the real wife was abroad and climbed her way up as the mistress. Now I really was in a situation where not even the Yellow River could wash me clean. I immediately defended myself. No, I'm really not a mistress. Director Xia, it's not what she said. And it's not what you think either. Director Xia looked incredulous, taking a few steps back as if she didn't want to be too close to me. Oh well, Mr. Gong can explain it to you later. Your company's superior-subordinate relationships are truly chaotic, she said with a twitching lip and a subtle expression before turning to leave. The crowd erupted into murmurs, some whispering, some covering their mouths to sneer, others just watching the drama unfold. This has nothing to do with our company, I said, chasing after her and grabbing her arm. Director Xia, there's more to this story, but I can't explain it now. I promise you, Mr. Gong never cheated or betrayed anyone. Our company's management and reputation are also impeccable. Director Xia gave an awkward smile and pushed my hand away. I'll be going now. We can talk later. Was this financing deal completely ruined? I didn't even dare imagine how furious Gong Tang would be whether he'd explode in rage and strangle me on the spot. Looking back, the onlookers had already dispersed. Only Yuan cast a sympathetic glance my way. After causing such a mess, I was too afraid to return to the office. I sent an email to HR, applying to terminate my employment contract. For the next few days, I took time off and stayed home, sending out resumes. Strangely, Gong Tang didn't call to demand answers, and no dismissal notice arrived from the company either. Had he given up on me completely, not even wanting to deal with me? But a few days later, to my surprise, Gong Tang showed up at my door. After not seeing him for days, he looked thinner, with dark circles under his eyes and stubble on his chin. My heart sank. How had he deteriorated so much in just a few days? He spoke first. "Xinyi, I'm really sorry to come to you at a time like this. I want to ask you for one last favor." One last favor? I nodded, only hearing him say, "My grandmother is on her last breath. She doesn't recognize anyone anymore. Could you pretend to be my wife and see her off one last time?" Even though I had 10,000 reasons not to want anything more to do with Gong Tang, I couldn't refuse this request. At the nursing home, I met Grandma Lan, who was barely holding on. Elderly people at her age battled death every day. Winning meant another day of life. Losing meant surrendering. No one could escape the inevitable end. I obediently leaned over, resting my head against the edge of the bed so she could touch it. "Grandma, your granddaughter-in-law is here to see you. Would you like some jujube flour pastry?" Hearing jujube flour pastry, Grandma Lan seemed to regain a bit of consciousness. With great difficulty, she stretched out her hand and murmured something. I couldn't make out her words, so I leaned closer. She took my hand and said, "You two, be good to each other. Don't separate." I nodded heavily. Gong Teng knelt by the bed, one hand intertwined with mine, the other holding me close, silently shedding tears, unable to speak. After saying those words, the elderly lady passed away peacefully and serenely. Just then, Gong Teng's parents arrived, followed by a woman. I looked up and realized it was Yuan Yuan, the woman I'd spoken with at the party. She called out, "Father-in-law, mother-in-law, Gong Teng, you." As an outsider, I felt out of place. Everyone exchanged awkward glances, unsure what to do. Just as Gong Teng was about to speak, I quickly grabbed a volunteer vest nearby and threw it on. Well, the family should say their goodbyes. We'll come back later. Afterward, they busied themselves in the room, handling the elderly woman's funeral arrangements. I fled the place as fast as I could. Oh my God. That woman was Gong Teng's ex-wife, the real wife. I was just a counterfeit, and I'd had the nerve to speak so boldly in front of her. How utterly ridiculous. I thought that would be the last interaction between Gong Teng and me. Two people on different paths who briefly crossed ways were destined to drift apart, growing farther and farther away. It was all just a dream, and when I woke up, Cinderella had no glass slipper. Ugh. I shook my head. Yang Xinyi, are you crazy? From start to finish, it was just an exchange of interests. Why did you empathize with that scoundrel Gong Teng? Why did you let yourself get so involved? Indeed, women who empathize with men never end well. After snapping myself out of it, I pulled myself together and continued job hunting. Unexpectedly, photos of Gong Teng and me at the cocktail party, sneaky shots of us at the furniture store, and pictures of me being confronted at the gathering, all of them were posted online by busybodies. Someone even embellished a story with a viral article titled "Scheming Mistress Successfully Climbs the Ladder, Heartbroken Real Wife Flees Overseas." T.S. Even I'd want to click on that headline for the drama. The rumors quickly trended locally and spread beyond. Netizens condemned me, and I became a social pariah. Watching the skyrocketing engagement numbers, I sighed. After all these years in marketing, I'd never orchestrated such an explosive case. The one time it happened, I was the one being set up. The real misfortune was yet to come. I thought the online frenzy would eventually die down, but as my personal information, phone number, address, resume was dug up and posted online, I faced daily cyberbullying, insults, and threats. The most horrifying incident was when someone knocked on my door. I opened it to find no one, only a box on the ground. Inside was a blood-stained doll and a threatening letter: "Mistresses deserve death," to the whole family. Terrified, I threw it away immediately. During that time, I couldn't leave the house, too scared to order takeout, receive packages, or even send out resumes. I hid at home every day, living like a quail, afraid of what might happen next. Some friends, misled by the online rumors, hurried to cut ties with me. Others were powerless to help or too busy to care, offering only moral support. In the end, this city could no longer hold me. Gong Teng kept calling, but I didn't answer. Eventually, I blocked his number. My feelings toward him were complicated. I resented him for dragging me into this mess, but I also pitied him for losing the investment and his grandmother. Yet, I didn't understand his feelings for me, nor did I fully understand my own feelings for him. If I was just imagining things, then a clean break was the best solution. I decided to leave this place and return to my hometown. 5 years of hard work, ending in a disgraced retreat, and all because of this kind of false accusation. I was a loser. Just before boarding the high-speed train, Xiaolin sent me countless messages. Thinking she was bidding me farewell, I opened them. "Wow, Xinyi, check this out. The boss's ex-wife posted on Instagram to clear your name. She said they divorced a long time ago and are both single now. Ugh, I misjudged you. The boss is holding a live stream today to apologize. Legal says the company has already reported it to the police and is taking it to court. Those who spread rumors and cyberbullied you, and the company won't get away with it." The boss's exact words: "No matter how much it costs or how long the lawsuit takes, he'll make them apologize publicly and face the consequences." Skeptical, I opened Gong Teng's live stream, Miss Yuan Yuan, my ex-wife, and I separated and signed divorce papers a long time ago due to differences in our values. It was my fault for not informing the investors promptly. I sincerely apologize to all shareholders and investors. Here, I also want to formally apologize to Xinyi. I failed to protect you and stand by your side when you were humiliated. I was a fool for not clarifying my feelings for you sooner. I don't dare ask for your forgiveness. I only hope you'll give me a chance to make it up to you. Finally, Our company has reported this matter to the police. I urge everyone not to spread or create false rumors online about Miss Shin Yi or our company. The internet is not a lawless space. Let's all work together to be civilized participants in the online community. On the train, I broke down in tears, all the pent-up grievances flooding out at once. How unfair! Why was I the last to know? That scoundrel Gong Tang. As the train slowly pulled away, it was too late to get off. Moving farther in the opposite direction, I gradually calmed down. Jalin's messages kept pouring in. The boss was so cool. That wasn't an apology, it was a blatant confession. Darling, I'm sorry we all misunderstood you. Come back soon. I turned off my phone, finding their chatter overwhelming. Once my emotions settled, rationality overpowered my romantic fantasies. The gap between Gong Tang and me was too vast. Even if he took one step forward today, I'd still have to take 99 more toward him. Since I'd already decided to leave, how could I just go back? A scoundrel's words were best taken with a grain of salt. A few days later, Yuan managed to get my contact information through a friend and explained everything. Gong Tang and I were university classmates. Maybe because we knew each other too well, we felt more like friends than husband and wife, so we parted ways amicably. When I met you at the party, I was curious about what kind of woman he'd choose. After talking to you, I found you interesting and genuine. Only someone with your personality could make him break his principles, even at the cost of the company's interests, to protect you. He's a good man, and I sincerely wish you both happiness. After returning to my hometown, I searched for a suitable job but found nothing. I ended up becoming a Douyin influencer to earn some pocket money. Despite years of marketing experience, my account's performance was dismal. Fortunately, there was a top fan who persistently rewarded me with gifts. It made me sigh. The greatest distance in the world truly was between knowing and doing. Jialin messaged me daily. Are you really not coming back? Your position is so hard to fill. The boss has interviewed over a dozen people and isn't satisfied with any of them. He's driving me crazy. Today, for your sake, the boss revised the employee handbook and removed the clause forbidding office romances. The boss hasn't come to the office for 2 days. Has his heartbreak made him lose interest in work? Is he now a ruler who cares more for beauty than his kingdom? You home wrecker, I scoffed. Home wrecker? If I'm going to be anything, I'll be the rightful queen. Then, I turned off my phone and continued my peaceful life at home. Did they think a little pity would make me soften and return? Dream on. One day, as usual, I went to shoot a store exploration video. There was a newly opened upscale mall in town with a trendy, youthful luxury style perfect for capturing stunning footage. When I arrived, I noticed the first floor was decorated with balloons and flowers, surrounded by layers of onlookers. Rumor had it a wealthy CEO had rented out the entire mall for a grand confession of love. My interest was instantly piqued. Such a cheesy yet captivating approach was sure to be a hit. I quickly started a live stream. Everyone, I'm so excited. Someone's confessing their love here today. The entire floor is covered in blue hydrangeas and white balloons. Do you know what hydrangeas symbolize? They represent hopeful reunions and happy marriages. So thoughtful. I wonder who the lucky person is. If it were me, I'd say yes without a second thought. There are even little cards here. Let me read one for you. What is the best kind of love? Steadfast and unchanging. Shin Yi. Be with me. Shin Yi. Wait. What a coincidence! Everyone, this girl has the same name as me. As a country bumpkin easily swept up in others' romance, I was getting more excited about this love story than if it were my own. Just as I was jumping around, shedding tears of joy for this perfect love, Gong Tang's voice suddenly rang out behind me, cold, clear, and sharp. I heard you want to be the rightful queen. I'm here to make that wish come true. That scoundrel Gong Tang had actually shown up dressed in a sharp suit, looking impossibly handsome, holding a large bouquet of blue hydrangeas and white roses. Stunned, I stumbled back a few steps. How did he get here? How did he know I'd be here today? Viewers in the live stream started spamming rockets and chanting, "Say yes! Say yes!" I immediately ended the stream. No way was I giving them a real-life show. This host doesn't take orders from anyone, not even for money. In front of the crowd, I pointed at the flowers and balloons covering the floor. Did you do all this? You used to hate this kind of thing, calling it outdated and wasteful. The method doesn't matter, sincerity is what counts. Confess, how did you know I'd be here today? Did Jialin tell you? No, I didn't tell her. The scoundrel smiled slightly. I saw it on your live stream. I even sent you a lot of gifts, It suddenly hit me that top fan. No wonder he was so generous. Gong Teng knelt on one knee. I'm sorry. I know I acted terribly, putting you in such an awkward position and making you bear those accusations. After you left, I realized I can't live without you. I truly love you. I hesitated. Did he think a few sweet words would be enough to win me over? Unfazed, the scoundrel pulled out a document. This is my promise to you. The company is doing well now, and I'll likely be worth hundreds of millions in the future. I'm not good with words, but everything I have from now on, I'll share with you. Give me a chance. Please let me spend the rest of my life making it up to you. I took the document. It was an agreement with terms I couldn't refuse. The scoundrel before me was no longer the tricky river god from before, offering 3 options that were all traps. This time, he'd placed the choice and his sincerity right in front of me, quietly waiting for my answer. He'd already taken 99 steps. All that was left was for me to take the final one. Even though I'd been hurt, even though the gap between us hadn't narrowed at all. When true love knocks on your door, you can't help but open it. I took the flowers and mustered my courage. All right then. Long live sincerity. The end.